Welcome to 2025. We thought we'd start the year off strong by introducing you to our newest team member, Michael Johnson, our American Growth and Sales Executive. Michael, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Great to be here. Great to be part of JIBB. And yeah, it's been a journey, right? I've been on board for about 2 months, and honestly, I feel like in a good way, it's been a little bit longer, right? So yeah, but yeah, came from Cisco. So a total of 17 years at Cisco, total of 20 years in technology sales experience, and before that, believe it or not, I was a stockbroker. Hated that so much I had to jump over to technology, right? And but loved it. Been around collaboration, communications most of my career, and so this was a natural progression to jump over to Jib.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So why Jib? Why Jib? What made
Why
you
Jib?
interested? Yeah.
So interesting story on how I got introduced to Jib. So one of my former colleagues, he was at Cisco for a long time too. Shout out to Scott Tipton. He invited me on a call to meet with Masood and a few others and to learn about what Jib is doing, where Jib is headed. And be honest with you, I didn't know a lot until I jumped on that call. And I was blown away. I was blown away by Masood because he's a character, right? Great guy. And but more importantly, I was really blown away by what Jib can do, right? And I said, you know what, this really fills a gap. It really truly fills a gap. And I told Masood, I said, we need somebody that's gonna be able to drive that alliance with Cisco and others that are out there, as well as get feet on the street, get in front of customers. And from that first initial call, I was like, okay, this seems like a natural move over to this, right? So that's, and then I saw the technology. I wound up talking to folks like Chris Palermo, right? The demo god at Cisco up in New York. His praise of it. Other folks, Chris Boyd, right? Other managers and executives within Cisco that have seen Jib and have met Masood. There wasn't one negative comment, right? It was all positive, and it was, and I will say this a lot, fills a gap, right? It's a newer solution, but it's a solution that wraps around solutions that customers already have today. So to me, it just felt natural to come over here. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, okay.
and not to cut you off, Connor, but the fact that what you guys are building and to be at ground zero at it, right, and help you grow. I'm a growth minded guy. I don't believe in revenue retention. That's boring, right? Let's grow something. And that's why I came here, and to be able to do that alongside Masood and James and Vahid and yourself.
Yeah, well, we're very excited to have you on board. What you saying that Jib fills a gap, but what is the key value points of Jib to you? What is it addressing that other solutions are not right now?
Absolutely. So I break it down to three things, right? Easeability, security, and equitability, right? Giving everybody
Mm.
equity in the meetings. So today it's a whiteboard solution, right? We're digitizing any kind of writing surface, whiteboard, glassboard, flip chart, you name it, right?
Mm.
There's some folks that can do that, but not in the way we do, right? It's software only, and it's a very easy, literally one button to push kind of thing. Today, you go into a meeting, go to a video conference, whether you're all huddled up in the same room or you have people in Australia, Colorado, everywhere around the world in the same video conference, and somebody's whiteboarding, somebody on that far end or even in the room is not having that same equity experience if they're not able to digitize that whiteboard and be able to manipulate that whiteboard, right? That's what it gives them
Mm.
in a very secure manner. We've all been in meetings where we write up on a flip chart or a whiteboard, right? Chalkboard even. And then we say, do not erase. We leave it up there for the next people coming in. And let me tell
Mhm.
you, I've done a lot of what's called EBCs when I was at Cisco, right? Executive briefings at the Executive Briefing Center in San Jose. A lot of companies come in and out. And
Right.
I covered PepsiCo for a while, was one of my main customers. Okay. Now let's say I was doing a whiteboard session with them. They're writing up their recipe, not that they would do that, but let's say they write up their recipe on a whiteboard, just, and then it's digitized out, everything else. But then they leave it up there with a do not erase. Coca-Cola comes in right afterwards, one of my counterparts, because they, of course, wouldn't allow us to cover both Pepsi and Coca-Cola. They come in, they see that recipe. They see, and then that's just a wild explanation, but it could happen, right? That's IP, and it could be leaked, it could be stolen that way. Anybody can come in and out, right? Anybody can take a picture. We all have done it. Use your cell phone, you take a picture of what's written, and then that cell phone's sitting there at a coffee shop, somebody sees it, and that could be IP leakage as well. With JIBB, it's more secure because guess what? Go ahead and erase that whiteboard, get rid of it, because it's always going to be saved and it's sent out to everybody that was in the meeting that actually needs it.
What's the biggest challenge that companies face when adopting new technologies, and how does JIBB address that?
Sure. I think the biggest challenge customers have, nobody wants to be the first ones, or most people don't, right? They don't want to be the guinea pigs. They don't want to adopt something that they're going to have a headache on their hands. That's not going to work with other things. They're not going to get the support they need. I mean, and JIBB addresses this in a lot of different ways. We're not going to leave you hanging. We're not just going to send you some demo licenses or install it and walk away and you don't hear from us. We don't treat our customers or our prospects like customers, right? They're partners. We're teammates. Sometimes we coach you, but most of the time we are teammates in this together, right? We're just helping you collaborate and communicate better. It's that simple. It really is. And then talking about the collaborate and communicate better, the people that we're talking to, the customers that we're speaking with, right? They have video today, right? Or maybe they're looking at adopting more video endpoints. So this complements them. It may be a cutting edge technology to some, or a brand new technology, adopting something brand new, but it's not a brand new solution. And stick with me here. It's a collaborative solution, right? It's something that goes along with something they already have, if that makes sense. So that's how JIBB addresses that.
Okay, yeah. So what you're saying is that it's not a case of they have to relearn how to work. They're just working the way that they already would, and this is this sort of like complementary overlapping layer that kind of just
Exactly. It's a
facilitates.
complementary solution. Absolutely. Yes. Collaborative,
Yeah,
collaborative to the other solutions, and it complements what they already have. It does.
yeah.
And again,
Okay.
looking at the demos, you can go and look at the demos online, right? And it's a great video and shows you really how easy it is, or we can do a live demo for you. And it really is a push of a button and what you want to digitize and brings it forward into the meeting and then sends a report afterwards. And it's all really done for you. It's very simple. So it's nothing you have to go to school for.
Yeah. What advice would you give to professionals looking to enhance their collaborations with their teams, and I guess put a bit of a jib spin on that?
Absolutely. So number one advice, and talk to the users, quite
Mm.
frankly, right? I mean, and I'm sure you're a user yourself, right? The ones I'm talking to, but talk to the other types of users. Talk to the engineers, talk to the people that are drawing up specs, that are drawing up topographies or what have you, that are actually doing these flip charts. How is it going for them?
Mm.
And is there something that could be better in their daily routine or within their meetings, right? Are they getting a report afterwards? How the analog, like how is it done today, right? Step by step. And that's what I love to talk with customers. I don't go in and pitch anything. I don't like that. Nobody likes being sold to. I mentioned that earlier. I want to
Mm.
understand the customer. And at the same time, understand your users, right? Understand how is take me through step by step how a meeting is done, how a video conference is done. When you whiteboard, what happens with that whiteboard? Do you have to keep it up there with a little sticker that says "Do not erase"? That's not secure, by the way. And how do people at the other end do they really feel like they're part of the meeting? And talk to those people. Talk to your users that are
Mm.
remote, right? That are joining these whiteboard sessions. So that's what I'd say. And it may sound something so simple, so one-on-one, saying talk to your users. But really, I mean, talk to your users. See what's missing, because I guarantee you something's missing. And it's
Mm.
that's that equity, right? That ease of use, right? And that's what we can provide you with.
So I just wanted to give you the floor, Michael. Is there anything that you want to say, or any plugs, or what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, no, Connor. Hey, listen. This has been great. I really appreciate the time, and I can't wait to meet everybody out there, right? And then help you with your journey of whiteboarding and collaborating and communicating internally and externally. So the best way to get a hold of me, Michael.Johnson at JIBB. That's JIBB, obviously, .ai. And then, of course, LinkedIn. Link in with me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to get more connections and get more friends out there. And I've said it many times. We are looking for not customers, right? We're not looking for investors. We're looking for partners, and that's what we're doing is building this up. And that's why I came on board is to really build and grow something fantastic. So again, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Michael.